Can you shed light on why there are pockets of hydrocarbons? How did it pool in some areas but not others? So one thing a lot of people don't realize when you talk about geology is that when you go deep underground, it's not that much different than the surface of the earth. And what that means is there's hills, there's valleys, there's mountains, there's places, there's low spots where things go to collect. All that exists underground, just like it exists on the surface. Now, what we are looking at here is what is referred to as an anticline. And this is a geologic structure here. And right here is the source rock. This is where the oil actually comes from. It's very permeable, it's rich in hydrocarbons, and the oil seeps up out of it. And it seeps up out of it, and then it goes into this column of water. And of course, oil floats to the top of water, right? So here you have your oil. Now, oil intrinsically has methane and gas within it. Those molecules are in it. So as that oil sits there, it will slowly emit methane gas and natural gas out of it. And that's why the gas is at the top. The one thing you need for this anticline to exist is an impermeable rock layer at the top of it. And that's what this is right here. And by impermeable, that means the pressure from this gas, oil, water, and reservoir rock cannot puncture through it. And it keeps it trapped right there. They literally call it a trap. Now, what is not represented in this graphic is, you're seeing a rig, it drilled a well, right? And you're seeing this geology. You can actually have multiples of these below this rig. For the purpose of this graphic, they've just shown you one. You can actually have several of these. The deeper you go, you can get into other anticlines. What you can also have is stacked pay zones, and many stacked pay zones. And that is what is really prolific about the Permian, is the stacked pay. There's so many formations that have hydrocarbons. And each one of these is from a different era in time, geologically speaking. Each one of these, say this here is from 500 million years ago. All of the organic plant life and matter died and was covered up. And then millions of years later, new plant life came and it eventually died, and that created this one. And then it died. And then millions of years later, new plant life came about and eventually died and was covered up. And then that happened again and again and again. So the deeper you go in this stacked pay zone, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, call it 5 geologic zones that hold hydrocarbons, the deeper you go, the older it is, the older geology it is. So this here could be 500 million years old, this could be 400, this could be 300, this could be 200 million, and this could be 100 million. It's just like when you look at the face of a cliff and you see all of the rock layers. It is the same thing, except these rock layers carry hydrocarbons. And all of this geology and the nature of it has to be perfect for this to exist. For instance, this source rock here, it has to be permeable enough, which permeability is basically how fluid can flow through rock, okay? This has to be permeable enough for the oil and hydrocarbons to move through it. So if this isn't permeable enough, you're never going to get this. It's not going to exist. And then if you don't have this layer, which is impermeable, which means nothing can flow through it, if you don't have that there to trap it so it all pools up in one spot, basically, if you don't have that, then all of these hydrocarbons will just scatter out over a very large area, and you won't be able to have it, a bunch of it in one spot to get it out. It'll just be scattered out. Another thing about this graphic that might be confusing, this appears to just be water, and this appears to just be oil, and this appears to just be gas. No, this is rock that has water in it. This is rock that has oil in it. It's not just like a pool of oil. It is rock where oil has collected. And this is rock where the gas from below has collected. But when you think of a pool or a trap of oil, It's not like a bucket of oil underground. It's not like just oil. It's oil that's trapped within rock. So, hope that helps. Thanks for the question. Great question.